Hello, good evening. It's Wednesday, so it is time to play. So tonight I've decided I'm going to do one for the boys. So I have got our lovely industrial, industrial border, that's the one, to play with, and I just thought we'd have a bit of a play. But before I do that, just want to remind you about our Crafty Roo along on Saturday at 9:30. We will be doing different resist techniques. So actually I'm going to change cameras because it'll be easier to show you these this way. I've moved everything around this afternoon because I was doing some filming and nothing's in the right place. All my buttons are in the wrong place. There you go, let me move my big mouse out of the way. So this is what we'll be doing. Evening Kim on Saturday's craft along. So we're going to do some embossing resist on that one. We're going to do this one next, our water resist. So you can see in the background there we've got our lovely water resist technique going on. We're going to do some wax resisting, so use your wax crayons or your wax pencils and you get that lovely wax resist up here. And the final one we're going to do, we're going to go old school and we're going to do our pan pastels, so using our either Versamark or our emboss, which is what I've used for that one. So that is what we're going to be doing on Saturday. It's all about techniques. Those are our inspiration. So there you go, that's what's coming up on Saturday. I have put the kit list and things on Facebook and Insta if you're planning to join us for those. So let me pop them somewhere safe, otherwise I'm going to lose them for Saturday, aren't I? Because you know what I'm like. I put things in a safe place. Let me move that out of the way as well. I put things in a safe place and I never find them again. So tonight, let's get back to tonight, shall we? I want to do a really quick one, and I'll apologise as well. My hay fever this afternoon has gone awful. The last 2 hours I've done nothing but sneeze. So hopefully I might stop. Evening Maxine, I have taken some more meds to try and just like stop the sneezing. It's been crazy. And then Bear's come home from swimming and he's exactly the same, just non-stop sneezing for the last 2 hours. So apologies if I do start sneezing again, I'll try not to. So what we're going to do, we are going to do a men's one. Evening Maxine, evening Mum. And I couldn't decide if I want to use my brick. I think we'll use a bit of brick in the background, and we might do some of that as well. So let's have that one over there. I've got some inks on my desk which I think I will use. They're going to be perfect for this. And what I need now is a little piece of acetate. I thought I was all ready, and then I didn't think everything through that I'd need. But we'll get there. It's going to be a real quick one tonight, I think. Only to save you from the sneezing. I'm going to do a lovely splodgy background using, I've got Salvage Patina and tea dye. I've just popped a little bit on my acetate, I don't know if you can quite see that, and I've got some on my desk by mistake. So I just want a bit of a panel that I know is going to be behind. I put a bit too much on there. That's okay, we'll sort it out in a minute. Because I want to use, let me grab it, this one. So you can see that's kind of the size I'm working to. It just fits on my nice I'll start that again. Just fits on my 5x7 card. I'll put my teeth back in. So you can see I kind of want to keep it to that panel in the background. I'm just going to grab a little bit of that, clean up my acetate, otherwise I get myself in a right little bit of a mess. I've already got filthy fingers from today. So just make sure if you're ever doing the splodgy backgrounds with your distress oxides, make sure you dry them between each one, otherwise your colour all merges and you don't get such nice strong colours. You get more muddy colours. I'm just trying to make sure it's dry, that it's not. Oh, definitely not there. I'm just going to dry that blob like that. There we go, that'll do. I'm going to do exactly the same with my tea dye. Oops, a bit too much, but should be alright. There we go, just add a little bit more water to that. And again, we're just going to go splodge, splodge, splodge. So I'm going to start off a bit here. Trying not to put too much on. There we go, look at that. Those colours are just perfect together, they really do work well. There we go, so that was tea dye and salvage patina. I wanted to say salvage patina, but then I wasn't sure. I had that moment of, is it? So I'm just going to make sure this is dry this time. We want it to be beautifully dry, so we can do some work on top. There we go. Just turned up my microphone a little bit because I thought it was a bit low. And I've got my door open, which is why you can hear the aeroplanes. Right, I think that's nice and dry. So first one I want to use, I've got two texture stamps out tonight. I've got the lovely wall that is reduced down at the moment. It's in our sale bucket. These and oldie buddies are very goody. We like oldies and goodies, don't we? There we go. We're just going to pop him on there. And I'm going to take my tea dye again because I don't need to introduce any more colours. We've got plenty to work through. And I've got a decision now. I can either stamp it so we get it lovely and solid like that, or we can spritz it. I'm actually going to spritz it, I think. No, I'm not. I'm going to go straight on. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, yeah, that was the right decision. Evening, Rachel. I could have spritzed it and we would have got a much softer background, but it's one of them, isn't it? Do you want it? Yeah. And I'm just going to add a little bit down here. I don't want it all though, so I'm just going to grab my packaging because it works just as well. Pop my packaging over the edge and I'm just going to go like that. There we go. Oh, maybe not. I didn't like that. I made an even bigger mess of it now. Never mind. I'm going to ignore that bit. Imagine I didn't do that. And it's the beauty as well of sticking to the same colour. So when you make a bit of a boo-boo like that, nobody will know because it's the same colours. What I didn't do, I've got a lot of height in my packaging that I'm trying to mask off with. If I wasn't being so lazy, I should have got myself a nice post-it note and done it properly. But when have you ever known me do anything easy? You know, if there's an easy way to do it, I do the opposite, don't I? There we go. Then I'm just going to do exactly the same up at the top. I'm going to pop my packaging on the edge again, ink it up properly. Remind myself which way this is going. I'm going to pop it that way, like that. And then I just want them top 3 or 4 rows. There you go. Just make sure you press. Whenever you're doing any masking, make sure you press on that seam where you've got the extra bulk from your mask. There we go. Didn't press very hard again that time. You can see, got a lovely panel come up there. Sorry, I thought I was going to start sneezing again. Didn't. I did alright. I was only saying this morning to Chris how much better today my hay fever's been, and then this evening, whoa, it just kicks off on me. So I've got a lovely wall. Pop them back before I lose them. And I've also picked out my code. I love this stamp. Again, another oldie but a goodie. So we're going to use our code as well. Because I think that wall, the code, you know, works with the industrial theme I've got going on here. Oops, I've cut mine in half at some point. I wonder a damaged package in this one. Right, I'm going to pop that there for a minute. I'm going to dry this off because we're going to put some VersaFine Clair over at the top now. And again, if I just grab that stamp, I'll show you in a minute how it's going to work behind beautifully. There we go. Just make it unbendy. Again, you can see if I pop that over the top, yeah, you can see even we could do it to the side maybe. Not sure. I think I like it down the middle. Yeah, I do. I think I like it down the middle. Anyway, that's for a little bit later. At the moment, we're still working on our background, and I've still not picked myself up a new black ink, so we're going to be working with the one that's running out. But again, it'll be fine because it's rustic, isn't it, at this level? I've actually gone for my grey. I've changed my mind. When I said it, I thought, black might not work. So I have got our code, and it has got proper letters on this one, so you can see like doc, because it is code, so it has got a direction is what I'm trying to say. There we go. We're just going to pop a little bit in the background, nothing too much. I'm not taking it off the edge of my page, I'm trying to keep it on the page for once. See if that bit wants to go on, and it did. Look at that. So you can see all those industrial kind of textures in our lovely background that we've created. Just take that off there. So I'm thinking this background's kind of worked. I couldn't find my packaging again. I always find it in the end, it's always somewhere. So I am quite liking this. I am going to put, I'm thinking this might be a Father's Day card, because I might be a little bit behind on something like that, but you know, wouldn't want to admit to that. So something like, maybe, might do you're the best on there. Don't know. We'll figure that out once we've done our top bit. So I'm going to pop that to one side because I like that. I'm thinking that's looking pretty cool. And I'm going to grab a piece of scrap card. There we go. And we need our lovely little industrial border. That's never going to work, is it? No, we need a bigger one for this. Definitely not going to stick onto that one. I know I'm tight with my blocks and stamps. I try and use the smaller ones because it helps my hands. But sometimes you need to admit defeat and go, yeah, that's not going to fit. Where's that one then? Because there is that rule, isn't there, about your stamps. I like to make sure my stamp fills most of my stamp base, otherwise when I come to stamp I've got all this bit I'm going to get black on. Yes, if I was to put that on my poly mount, I'd end up with huge areas that I could get ink on, and then that ink would transfer to my work. Whereas if I go for a slightly smaller one, I can grip it better because my hands and arse are kicking in every now and again. But two, it doesn't give me as much option to move that ink around. So if you ever wonder why I do try and use smaller blocks, that's the reason. Oh, I can't get my lids off. So I'm just going to ink this up with black and hope there's enough ink in it. So I'm just going to turn it around. I am over inking because I'm compensating because I know my ink is running out. And it's running out a lot. There we go. I'm just going to stamp this on here. Pop that there. Give it a real good press, or in this case I'm going to have to give it a rub. My fingers don't want to work. I do make it look harder than it is. It's not. Stamping isn't this hard, it's just my hands are not playing today. There we go. So I'm going to pop that over there for now. I'm going to give this a quick blast with my heat gun, because I do want to add some colour to it. So the decision is, do I keep it to the same colours as my background, or do I change it? I think I'm going to add a little bit more brown to it. There we go, right. You can hear the cogs turning, can't you? It's like, do I want to do this or that? Let me see, I've got some ground espresso, that would work actually. These are the colours that we'll be using on Saturday. So that's why they're out on my desk, so I don't lose them. You know what I'm like, I'll put them safely back on the cupboard and I won't find them again. There we go. So I've done quite a bit of tea dye because I'm not quite sure how much I want to colour and how much I don't want to colour. So I don't want this too watery. I could have used my pens, but I like to try and keep my colours. I have to add a bit more water because it doesn't want to move. There we go. I'm just going to add a few bits of colour to this, not too much, because we do like the white. But I don't think, you know on Monday how we left the flowers white, I don't think it'd look as effective if we did that with this one. So we're just going to add a bit more colour. We're going to leave some white in there, absolutely, because white is still a colour, isn't it? You don't have to always colour everything. There we go. Even just adding this little bit is... My ink, it's that warm, my ink is drying as I'm painting here. It's drying on my desk. There we go. I'm just going to add a few more bits in. Might have gone a bit over the top with my ink on my desk actually, I will admit it. Could have probably done with about half of it. I'm going to pop in a little bit more. There we go. You can see just adding that little bit of colour is just makes it look completely different, doesn't it? Okay. Right, I think, oh no, let's put a little bit down here. So what do we do on that one? I'm going to do the opposite side on this one. Oops. There you go, I did put a bit too much of that down on my desk, didn't I? It's okay. There we go, right. I'm going to use a bit of this ground espresso. I need to be careful with this one because it is quite dark, so I don't want to overpower those black lines on our design. A little bit of water. And again, I'm just adding little bits here, there and everywhere. Just on there. Evening, Noala. I'm just doing a super quick night, Kim. I'm doing a super quick man's card, boy's card with our lovely industrial border. And I've just given a sneaky peek as well at, well, not a sneaky peek because I shared it the other day, of the cards that we'll be making, or the techniques we'll be covering in our craft along. Remind me and I'll show them again at the end because I know I did race through them at the beginning. I forgot to colour that bit in tea dye. It's going to bug me. Let's see if it's going to bug me enough for me to go back and put a bit of tea dye on there. There we go. I'm getting there, I'm getting there. I'm just colouring in little bits. Again, I put way too much ink out. But I do that, I either put way too much or not enough. There we go, right. And I just want a little shot of blue. I'm not going to go with our salvage patina because it's not bright enough for what I want. I want a real, like, kick in the face type blue. Could actually, if I can find them, I might grab my, I'm going to use a gel pen for it. So let's get this dry. I'll have to just nip over there and get my gel pen, but that's okay. Not the best colouring. If I hold it really close, you'll see that I've gone over a few lines and things, but that's okay. All adds to that distressed, rugged look. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. There we go. And scissors. There they are. I've still not deconked them. I will do. I keep saying that too, don't I? Though I had to use, I normally de-stick them with, you know, your alcohol, for your alcohol blending solution, because it works really well. Cuts through the stick really well. Because I can never find my sticky stuff remover. But Rosie decided to cover her entire shirt, or it felt like her entire shirt, in pen the other day and it would not come out, but the blending solution, absolutely, it was wonderful. Got loads of the ink out to the point where it saved a shirt. So I was very grateful, because I don't want to be buying brand new school shirts this close to the end of term. It's the same with Bear. He has a white t-shirt for school and he decided to colour it in red this week at school. Yeah. Just decided, but not like in an indiscreet place. It was like right on his chest. It was almost like he tried to colour in the logo for them, which is blue, and he then turned his t-shirt red. But he's not having a new t-shirt for school either. I'll make it last, I will. But saying that, that's daft, isn't it, not getting him a new one, because we'll be buying them soon anyway for next term. There we go. And I'm just leaving, as you can see, I'm just leaving that little border so that when I pop it on top of here, yeah, it does just stick out. Quite like it with the white next to it. Oops. I'm just going to gut this because there's a lot of wastage there, which makes cutting out that a little bit harder to do. So again, we're going to go in. There we go. I'm going. Pop it around the edge. We're going nearly at the end now. But it's a really nice one to work with, this one. Because we're working with, well, I'm using the corner one on Saturday for one of the resist techniques. And I think we've got both of them coming to help me on Saturday as well. Because they saw that I had the pan pastorals out. And, well, I used the word used them in the past. I used the word used very loosely. He's covered my desk in them before. So he wants to play with them. And then little lady turned around and said, well, can I do it too? So I think there might be 3 of us crafting in here at weekend. That's okay. We'll find room for everybody. Right, so you can see how this is going to look, can't you? So now I'm going to grab those sayings I had a minute ago. We'll do... Oh, excuse me. Might do you're the best up there. Actually, we'll do you're the best around the edge, because I do like putting a little border around the edge. And then I'm not going to do 2 that are the same. We're going to do simply the best in that top corner. There we go. Whoops. sticky fingers. So I'm just going to grab this one. And I'm going to grab my black. So if I'd have done this code in our black, now when I add our sentiment on, it would have been fighting for who is on the top. So what was your eye going to be looking at? But because I've done that in grey, it's going to make this black in a minute pop right out. Sorry. Just think that back up again. Just noticed my card was really wavy at that point. So I'm just going to come in here and pop it about there. There we go. So you're the best. Don't know why I'm putting the whole thing back over there because I need it for this one. I'm going to pop that over there in a second. My black pen, there it is. I'm just going to do a really scratchy line. I'm liking my scratchy lines at the moment. You don't have to think about them too much. There we go. Whoops. Good job, it's scratchy. And then we'll have a bit of a widdly woggle on that one. I'll have a little bit down here, and then we're going to have that other one up in that corner. So it all balances it out. Or that's the theory anyway. Then need another little scrap of card. Should fit on that one, I think. There's got plenty of room on it. So we're going to grab our Simply the Best. Just like that. Now I did find my little guillotine yesterday. There we go, we've got our Simply the Best. I'm going to put that over there now because I'm done with that. See, he's back. That was my mouse I've just thrown on the floor. Let's see if that, it might be. Might be small enough, it might be big enough even. Pop that over. I was going to go for quite simple tonight, but I think it's gone a little bit more. There we go. And I want the tiniest of tiny borders on this one. So if you think it's tiny, I want tinier. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Ah. Let's rescue it. Thank you. And then, I know my glue's not. I need my blue pen. Bear with 1 second. I'm just going to run and grab it. Well, not run, but you know what I mean. There we go, I've got my box. I'd never run. Especially on a Wednesday night. I'm not running. Right, is that going to be blue enough? Maybe I want it a bit more blue. Let's try that one. Ooh, maybe that one. Oh, what's that one like? I think we're going with that one. Yeah. There we go. So we've got... Ooh, let me put it over there. I'm just going to grab this. Don't need that bit. And we're just going to add a few little blue bits with our sparkly pen. One, because it's gonna hide some of my not so neat colouring in, but I think it'll also make it just little areas of it pop. This is where I get carried away and do too much. Oops. Just remember as well, your gel rolls, any of your sparkly ones, will be a bit juicy. So just take your time, really gentle with them, because the ink does really flow with your sparkly ones. So the Stardust, and I think they're called Metallics, aren't they, the other ones? This is the Stardust one. You do that bit there, I think. And they do take a little bit to dry as well. So just bear that in mind if you're in a rush last minute. Not saying that you would be. But I sometimes am. And then all of a sudden you do your sparkle pens and it's like, oh no, it's going to take a bit to dry this. There we go. That little bit of blue, you can see, can't you? Boom, it just makes it pop. So let's get this together. I'm not going to stick it together because, well, my glue's still not unclogged, but I can give you an idea. So we're going to pop that on there like so. I was going to say maybe I should have done a black background to it, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to pop that just over to the side a little. My black card does have, there we go, that side's got the pattern to it. I want to get that on there nice and neat. Obviously when I come to stick this together, I'll make sure it's all, I'm going to move that over a little bit because I want my Simply the Best up in that top corner, just like that. So I've got You're the Best and Simply the Best on there. So really quick, easy bloke's card, because I know it's Father's Day on Saturday, Sunday. I'll get my days there in the end. But really easy. We've done a splodgy background, we've used our wall stamp, we've used our code. We made sure we did that in grey. So can you see how that's gone into the background rather than fighting with this black? We've used our sayings from last month's monthly make. So You're the Best and Simply the Best. And then we used that lovely industrial border. And then just coloured it in using the same colours. So Salvage Patina, Tea Dye, or Vintage Photo, Tea Dye, wasn't it? Tea Dye, and Ground Espresso. And then just that little bit of, let's see if I can do this without the fan blowing it all, sparkle in the blue, just makes it pop. How cool is that? There you go. So don't forget, we are back on, I'm going to show you these again before I forget. We are back again on Saturday with another craft along. So we're going to be doing the embossing powder resist. We're going to do water resist that way. There you go, there is some water resist on there. I went over the top on the stamping. Wax resist, that lovely wax. Play with our wax crayons, not done that for a while. And then I pulled out my good old pan pastels because they're just sat there and they needed to come out of the drawer. They were crying. They were crying in the drawer and they went, yep, we need to be using them. So that is Saturday's craft along. Details are, well, I posted them yesterday and I'll post them again later in the week. There you go. Let me put them back up there safe. So let me see if I can find what I'm looking for here. There it is. So that is it from me tonight. I look all windswept, don't I? It's because I've got the fan going. That is it for me tonight. Tomorrow we have another polyplate technique video going live. It'll be tomorrow afternoon, early evening-ish. I can't remember what time I've said it for, but it'll be later on tomorrow. So if you love using your poly plates but you're unsure how to use them, this week I have done distress oxides, about how to put your colour on there. That will be going live tomorrow at some point, late afternoon, early evening-ish. It was a while ago I put that, I set that to go live. So yeah, that is a video to look out for tomorrow, and then on Saturday we will be doing our craft along using resist techniques that I've just shown you. So I do hope you can join me for that. If not, you can always catch up on YouTube or Facebook. It'll be there, don't worry if you miss it on Saturday morning, because I know we're all busy. It will be there for you to catch up whenever you're ready. So I think that's everything I have to tell you. Oh, new stamps next Wednesday. So next week's Wednesday night playtime, I know I said Monday night, no, Wednesday night playtime will be a few new stamps. There's only a couple. They work with something that we've had for years, absolute years, and they're just fun, and I love them. And we'll be using them in Birmingham when we're there on the 8th as well. So that's everything, I think so. Thank you for joining me tonight. I haven't sneezed. Yeah, I haven't sneezed. Yeah, hay fever meds must have kicked in. Thank you for joining me tonight. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.